Women aren't gamers. That's the overwhelming impact that specific message has had towards girls across the world, regardless if they play video games or not. According to Pew Research article entitled Teens and Video Games Today, which was created by Jeffrey Godfrey and Olivia Sadati, nearly all boys, 97%, say they play video games, compared to about 3/4 of teen girls. The selected topic, as previewed by the Pew Research article previously, is how players' gender identification impacts the player experience. While being a broad topic, I really want to focus on the main content as to the environment and the setting that the game occurs in, as well as the player's environment, the mechanics, and the rules within the game that really determine how specifically women are impacted by the gaming industry and playing video games. The relationship between the genders of men and women within video games creates a varying level of attitudes when it comes to playing these video games, where women are commonly criticized for considering themselves as the social title of gamers. A quote from Within Women in Video Games, What Do They Play? By Labrador et al. Provides a counteractive approach, providing, furthermore, problems associated with PVG, also known as playing video games, appears more frequently among men than women, where, in addition, the writer adds that the study found men present 2.9 times more problems of video game addiction than women. Fortnite is the best example to discuss this theory and bring research forward to as the different experiences that genders experience when playing video games, specifically focusing on the impact of women. The game of Fortnite. There are varying numbers of genders that play this game, where there are different types of harassment levels to both women and men. However, Fortnite has had a huge impact with women playing video games, as the skins within the item shop are less sexualized and really focus on female attributes without promoting nudity. As stated within Women in Video Games, What Do They Play? Women prefer to play games where they are not sexualized, but rather the content of the game is the priority. As stated within Women in Video Games, What Do They Play? Women prefer to play games where they're not sexualized, but rather the content of the game is the priority, where there are less levels of violence and more specifically goal-oriented gameplay. After reviewing the research, the question that's presented is how do we grow from separating women from the video game experience? Within the article, Women, Video Games, and Learning, Beyond Stereotypes by Elizabeth Gee, the author presents the idea, quote, men are motivated simply by women. Women want to accomplish something socially significant and beneficial, end quote. This quote is very impactful as it details a reason as to why women don't typically play games where there's over-sexualization of women or less violent games as well. This quote puts a highlight onto why women might not play as many video games or different kinds of video games that men do. And the simple accomplishment factor has a really big part to this. If creator studios are typically pushing out games where there's an objective to win, such as Fortnite, it makes it harder for women to be able to interact with the game if they're not motivated by a specific cultural impact that they might make. Fortnite, the game that I presented previously, has created a way that men and women can both have different accomplishments when playing games, where there's a winning aspect, but the women players or male players can make a significantly impactful moment within the culture of the game. How do they do this exactly? They add different objectives to the game during gameplay, where you can win the game, but also do things such as storyline quests, where you learn why the map was created for a certain season. You can help players, and you can also help the NPCs that are within the game to help them from some sort of evil that has been created during a match. Where you can still play a whole game of Fortnite regardless of your gender, but it also is explicitly important as it provides a motivation for you to play regardless of just shooting people and winning the game. It adds more depth and character to the different NPCs and people around you when playing the game. Women in video games is never going to go away, where there has always been a rise of women in video games and always will be, where the height was recognized in 2020 from the Pew Research article, where there was a slight spike of women playing video games because of COVID. There is likely to be another spike of this if more creator studios implement different strategies to allow women to not only play based off of winning, but making a cultural impact within the game. Overall, the video game experience is important to both genders of men and women, along with all other genders included, such as non-binary individuals. Again, video games are for everyone, and if you play video games, you are technically classified as a gamer. So it is important to involve all individuals by using inclusive information and inclusive words to allow everyone to enjoy the space that is created. Thank you.